These are your evening headlines for February 6, 2026, right here on BYU-Idaho Radio. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Kimber Pierce. This week, the tax conformity bill passed the Idaho House and will move on to the Senate. Reporter Simon Simpson has the story.
House Bill 559 is a proposed bill that would add tax cuts from President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill to the state budget, costing $155 million. I asked Democratic Senator Janine Ward Engelking of Boise about the bill.
We could conform starting January 2026 and move forward. That's what the governor recommended. That would be my choice. I think the bill that was introduced in the House goes retroactive, goes back to January 2025, which causes all sorts of problems with the tax commission. And also, people are already filing their tax returns. And so they would have to do an amendment, or they would have to redo their taxes. That's just complicated.
Here's what Republican Representative John Weber of Madison County says about the bill.
You know, as you are probably well aware, the governor has asked that the agencies cut 3 to 5%, and I believe it's more like 3% is what they settled on. Tomorrow, it sounds like the JFAC committee, Joint Finance and Appropriation Committee, will be voting on an additional 1 to 2% cuts in in their state agency funding, and so you see that with the conformity bill and the budgets, where we're at is it's a time of constraint and just tightening our belts when it comes to spending.
The bill is in the hands of the Senate, and if it passes, it will move to the governor's desk to be signed into law. For BYU-I Radio, I'm Simon Simpson.
Idaho State Police arrested a driver and a passenger on Tuesday after a car chase led to the discovery of fentanyl trafficking. According to a news release, Idaho Falls officers called ISP in on Tuesday afternoon for help after a traffic stop turned into an interstate car chase. The officers originally intended to serve a warrant at a rest stop off I-15 near Post 101, but the driver took off north on I-15. State troopers used spike strips to try to stop the car, but the driver continued on with 3 flat tires. The chase continued on and off the freeway until the car ran a red light, drove through a ditch, and ended up in a parking lot. The driver left the vehicle and tried to run, but troopers used a taser to stop the driver before making arrest. They also arrested the female passenger. During the pursuit, the driver and passenger were seen throwing narcotics from the car. The drugs were recovered after the chase. The driver now faces charges of fentanyl and meth trafficking, as well as charges for obstruction of evidence, felony eluding, and an existing active warrant in Bingham County. The female passenger was arrested on charges of trafficking fentanyl. The Idaho Falls Police Department is leading the investigation. A proposed bill in the Idaho legislature that would ban cities from having anti-LGBTQ discrimination laws passed the House and will move to the Senate. House Bill 557 would require cities to get rid of any unique anti-discrimination laws and conform with current Idaho state code. Currently, under Idaho law, it is illegal to discriminate against, quote, a person because of or on a basis of race, color, religion, sex or national origin, age, or disability. According to the Idaho State Journal, for more than a decade, legislators have been trying to add LGBTQ+ discrimination protections into state law, but have not succeeded. The bill passed 53-16 with one person not voting. All 9 Democrats and 7 Republicans voted against the legislation. The bill will move from the House floor to a Senate committee hearing where it will be voted on to be introduced in front of the full body of the Senate. These have been your BYU-Idaho Radio evening headlines for February 6, 2026. Thanks for tuning in. More news, interviews, and great content are available on our podcast feed. Search for BYU-Idaho Radio on your favorite podcast apps. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and more. For BYU-Idaho Radio, I'm Kimber Pierce.